What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you will not regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, I'm going to talk a little bit about something that happened on Easter Sunday in Memphis. And I've been wanting to do this story for a while, but I mean, as the story's been piling up, I'm really behind in them. My internet runs slow now. That's why you'll see the videos jumping up like that. So I know a lot of you guys are like, yo, Steve used to knock them out. Boom, 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 boom. Now, for some reason, it takes me 2 hours with editing to do a video. So it's like, it's one of those things, but I'm working on rectifying the situation. So again, I do apologize. But listen, guys, anyway, I want to talk a little bit about a shooting that happened, or apparent carjacking that happened in Memphis. And it left a father dead, a father of 4 girls. One of them is an infant. Oldest child is 16 years old. And it's messed up because it didn't have to be. The man was just going to the store, and he was approached by a young kid, and he wound up getting shot multiple times by multiple men. And let me just roll the clip and let you guys check it out, and then we'll come back and talk about it. Damn shame. Hit it.
Caught on camera, the chilling moments a man is carjacked at gunpoint outside the Royal King store on West Rains on Easter Sunday. He tries to escape but is shot and killed. Tonight, WRG's Ashley Paul spoke with that family of the victim. And Ashley, how are they coping tonight?
Yeah, Stephanie. Well, Easter is supposed to be a day of love, celebration, and family, but instead it was one of tragedy and heartbreak for this family. They say the man in that video is 35-year-old Quentin Donald, who's a father of 3, and they say that he was just grabbing a snack at the store when he was gunned down in broad daylight.
Quentin, he's always thought of me as Superwoman. You know, he thought that I could just handle anything that's thrown my way.
But this is a challenge Ariel Showers never could have imagined. She was set to marry 35-year-old Quentin Donald next year after nearly 2 decades together. Now, instead of planning their wedding, she's planning his funeral.
He never made an enemy. He never got in trouble outside of a traffic ticket. That's why it's so hard to cope with this.
She says Donald is the victim in this video released by the Memphis Police Department. She says he is the man in the white shirt standing next to one of the suspects outside the Royal King convenience store when a struggle breaks out. You see him run away from the car when a second suspect in red comes at him with a pointed gun. Police say a third suspect in a white shirt and blue pants also opened fire, taking the life of not just a fiance, but a father of 3.
That was my best friend, my ride or die right there.
16-year-old Layla is Donald's oldest daughter. Through tears, she tells us she will live the rest of her life to make her father proud.
I always talked to him about becoming a veterinarian, and he was supporting of my dream, and I would, want to make him proud.
The youngest is this little one, only 3 months old. The family vows to make sure she grows up knowing the amazing person her father was, and that he was taken from her far too soon in a senseless act of violence.
It needs to stop. It needs to stop. There's no way a simple store run should have turned into a crime scene.
And there you got it, guys. Another good man gone for no damn reason. 35-year-old Quentin Donald, gone. He left behind 3 girls. I said 4 in the beginning, and I apologize about that. But one of them was a baby. You seen that baby? And his oldest child was 16. Did you see how good she spoke? She sounded educated. Sounded like a pretty smart kid. She missed her father. He was about to be a husband. He was already a fiance. He was with that lady 20 years, almost. That's dedication. Dedication. He was a leader. You know how I can tell he was a leader, in case somebody say you don't know that? You see the impression he had on his 16-year-old daughter? A lot of people say when girls are teenagers, they're the hardest to handle. Seemed like he didn't have a problem with her, and she didn't have a problem with him. That was her leader, her champion. That was the closest thing to a relationship of her as a student watching a man and the relationship and how they should be with a woman. Her training wasn't even over yet. And somebody came because of their malice and greed, wanting to do something to him for something they saw in his hand, ended all of that. It's crazy how we put insignificant things or things that will give us temporary satisfaction. We put a price on somebody's life over those things. That car is not worth the loss that they had. The car, like I said, is not worth the life that was lost. Whether he had cigarillos in his hand or cigarettes or whatever, was not worth the loss to that family. Anytime us as a people do something else or victimize us as a people, it affects more than everybody. And that's the big thing. Nobody talks about that. If you really sit back and think, you got to look below the surface besides a man getting killed by some young kids. They said that man got shot and then there was two other people standing there. So that lets you know all three of them was setting them up. That's an older man. You can see they were younger kids. They might have been in their teens. I say early 20s. What you doing standing around the store anyway? You need to be working somewhere. Think about that. I remember when I was younger, the only people you seen standing outside the store was either bums or old alcoholic men. Now it's like the younger generation done pushed them off the block and then took over the spot. Just hanging out doing nothing is what men do nowadays in the black community. That's what it seems like. I'm not saying that's how it is, but like if you're a young man or you're a teenage boy and you see the older kids who I can't wait to go over there and stand with them, it's a cycle of silliness we going through, y'all. A cycle of fucking silliness. That little baby will never know her father. She'll only have to hear stories, and it's not the same. It's not the same. 20 years of devotion, childbearing, ups and downs with this man. Gone, wiped away from by a stranger. He's 35 years old, assuming she's the same age. That means she was with that man since she was 15 years old, at least. Think about that. Think about that. That's a lot of history. That's a lot of history to erase. Because you want something that ain't yours. And then another thing is this, why you can't just go out and get something? When I was younger, I never thought about, hey, I'm going to go and take somebody's stuff. Because it's very bold and brazen to put a gun in somebody's face or show a gun. That don't scare everybody, as you can see the dude. He saw the gun, he's like, oh, hell no. Just because you pull a gun don't mean people are going to freeze and do what you say. I don't know what this is, man. We got a lot of cowardly young black men. Somebody tell me a lot. We got a lot of cowardly young black men. Listen. How often, a long time ago, some of y'all my age, was it considered weak to jump somebody? That's all they do now. Jump somebody. That's why when you see a lot of young kids fighting on one-on-one, they look silly. They're leaning back. They got their hands, they're swinging wild. Even when they got you on the ground, they throwing hooks wrong. They throw their hands like women that fight in the street. Somebody tell me I'm lying on that. Cowardly. And you know what that comes from? No fathers. No fathers. Because if that boy had a father, that older man, he would have had somewhat of a respect or some type of, okay, this dude bigger than me. This dude, he might, be reminiscent of my father. This guy might be able to handle me. Or I don't want to pull a gun on him. Let me pick somebody else. No, not nowadays. Not nowadays. No, don't matter. Don't matter. The gun give him power. I don't understand. Let me say this real quick. Somebody left me a message that I didn't like, and I'm not going to say the person's name. He's a young guy. I went and investigated him. And he said this, oh, old school, you need to mind your business. Seem like you're only saying stuff about black people. Hear me out now. And all your stories is always about death and destruction and this and that. That's what needs to be addressed. Let me explain something to you. I seen your Instagram page. I know you live at home. You're 20 years old. You have no college. and it didn't show whether you graduated from high school or not. And it's not for me to sit up here and talk about your background, but I will say something. Every picture I seen of you, it was you and your mom. I didn't see no men in your pictures. So until you know how to talk like I talk and walk what I've walked in my life, shut your fucking mouth. And I don't mean to say this on here because I don't answer any type of negative comments at all, but it pisses me off that for this video here and the video I did about Shanquilla Robinson, Shanquilla, yes, it's Shanquilla, yeah. You're going to sit up here and comment on that video. Silly. Always missing the message. We always miss the message as black folk. And then we want people to give us justice when we can't even justify why we want it or need it. Like I said before, everybody that wear the same jersey as you ain't on your fucking team. And we need to teach that. Everybody that calls himself your friend don't mean you good. You can ask Shanquilla, she'll tell you that if he was here. Stop wasting your time by hanging around people that mean you no damn good. Man was a family man. Did you see his fiance face light up? Did you see her light up? She wasn't even, I don't know if she was devastated off the camera, but she held her composure and spoke very good in reminiscence of Quentin Donald. My heart and prayers go out to the family. And I'm being dead honest with you on this situation. We got to get a grip on stuff because it seems like we don't even, it's like we don't even think before we act on anything. It's like you're black, so you're just praying for somebody else that looks like you. I don't understand it. And I'm sure every other race got their problems, but I'm going to address these problems because these problems affect me. I've had guns in my face multiple times, just walking down the damn street. Here comes some clown. I've been held up at gunpoint. I've had things taken from me. That's why I don't victimize people, because being the victim is never no fun. And that's the thing. A lot of these young kids out here doing stuff, you'll get the story on the news, and all of a sudden the cops did something bad to him. Or, oh, he got shot in the street. He didn't do nothing to nobody. But it's a long line of history that earned him them bullets. On my channel, I don't give nobody passes on stories I do. I call it right down the middle as best I can. And I try to be fair about it. But this story right here makes me sick to my stomach because that could have been any of us coming out that store at that time. 3 people set that man up without having an ounce of who he was, just thinking about his past and just knowing that he's somebody to someone. Or some people, multiple people. Why? I'm sorry to run this video, but it's stuff just hitting me. Why is it so hard to walk up to somebody and be like, hey, man, you got a nice car. I don't mean no disrespect, but what do you do for a living? You see guys doing that on TikTok, walking up to rich people. What do you do for a living? How do you have any advice or anything like that for someone young like me so I can be like you? Nah, black folk don't do that. Oh, I see what you got. I'll take it and I'll kill you to get it. We don't search for knowledge. We search for things that are just worthless, of little value. You killing people over Jordans, killing people over rims on a car. All that shit is stylish, and it'll be passe 3, 6, 9 months, a year from now, and you kill somebody. Them rims will still be here, but that person won't. That jacket you like that he wearing it, you like how it look on him? A lot of times y'all shoot people up, put bullet holes in the jacket. The jacket ain't worth nothing. Look how dumb these clowns was. As soon as they shot him up, they went and ran and jumped into a raggedy car and drove off. Left the car door open, the man dead on the damn street, and a family hurt. How you think that conversation went in the car? You went from that thing wasn't that important. Now that you're in trouble and you're trying to escape arrest. And if arrest is more important than the dirt that you did, don't do no dirt. Guys, listen. I'm Stockton Rocket Steve. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video, man. I hope you guys learned something in the video and I made sense. I'm sorry for rambling. Take care.